Swan Lake is such a part of the Illinois River Valley, and in its absolutely tremendous waterfowling heritage. There are very, very few places in the country that have an area like this. And Swan Lake is been around as long, if not longer, than any of those other clubs, and given back more than its share to conservation, not just here, but continentally.
The Swan Lake Club was the oldest duck club in Illinois, formed in the late 1870s and incorporated in 1884. I think there's an appeal to romance. It's kind of nice to come to a place where you have to do things by hand and you see things the way they were a long time ago. There's something emotionally appealing about being part of your past. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think a lot of people feel that way. I think history has a romance that's appealing to people who duck hunt.
I guess one of the things I always look forward to is sitting right here next to the fireplace with a cigar and a beverage, looking forward to a hamburger on the grill after a good shoot. And they're all good days, whether you get a lot of ducks or not.
The members of this club and clubs like it are absolutely crucial to the mission of Ducks Unlimited. Our major donors, which so many of the members of clubs of this club and clubs like it are, really stepped up and helped us to fill those gaps and get us through this, the last couple of years. And that's just one piece of this story that goes back, so long, and it's a tremendous piece of that, history that we're lucky enough to share it.
When I found out that Tim's father and Tim's grandfather ran the club from 1921 until 2009 when I took over, I was very, very intrigued. I just didn't think that sort of thing still happened in this country. I knew they had some really good ideas here, and the club had been successful. It had been a club that was important to belong to, because they were good at what they did, and that family connection of the Millers really kind of brings that out.
My name is Tim Miller, and I'm just retired as the general manager from Swan Lake Club after 30 years. The whole thing started with my grandfather being asked by relatives, whose name was Timothy, that I got named after, Timothy Woods. He asked my grandfather if he would be interested in managing the club after that. My grandfather managed then for 34 years and then asked if my father could do it, and he did it for 35. So then when he stepped down, I said, I might as well try it now too.
Yeah, my name is Jamie Duke. I'm the general manager of Swan Lake Club. This is my first year in that particular role. I've been pushing for Swan Lake Club for about the last 21 years. So when I started with Swan Lake, so Tim was the general manager at the time. His dad, he ran the club up into the mid-90s, and Tim took over, and I started to work for Tim in the late 90s. But his dad was still around, and that was a really cool aspect of being involved with Swan Lake, because even Bill would still come out into the duck blinds and help us tie on these willow mats and do, whatever. He just loved being here.
I think that, duck hunting is sort of about history. I think of, Tim Miller and Norma Miller and Bill Miller because, they're always here. They always were here. For 58 years they've been here, helping, me enjoy what I enjoy doing very much.
The members of Swan Lake Club feel a responsibility. We feel fortunate. And the responsibility is to give back, is to help the whole system become a better system. And Ducks Unlimited has done wonderful things to the Illinois River Valley. Duck production doesn't just happen in our area. that it takes a great deal of money to secure lands, to protect wetlands a long way away from here in the duck factory of the northern tallgrass prairies. These things are all important to us. They're important to people in the Midwest. We hear about it all the time, and there's a lot of giving for those reasons.
I think it's the essence of Swan Lake. I mean, you can shoot ducks anywhere, but that's not, entirely what people come here for. They come here for the tradition and the nightly draw and just the little subtle things that we do that have been done for, the 100+ years that Swan Lake's been here. It is very much something that I need to focus on, and quite frankly, I have a lot of learning to do from Mr. Miller, because Tim has always just done it and done it well and seamlessly, and it goes off without a hitch.
Ironically, my father, I always remember as a child, he would say, the club comes first. So that was just the way we were brought up, is that whatever it took to make things right for the members, and they really came down and enjoyed how the place was operated.
Well, the great thing about the members here and the members of a lot of the clubs is that they understand the concept of what we're trying to do. And so they're our advocates, and so they go out and they tell their friends and they tell their, the folks that they're connected to, and they come back and they end up supporting Ducks Unlimited. So it's not just the members of the clubs itself, it's the relationships that the members of the clubs have with their other folks. And they're telling the story, and they're helping us to deliver the mission just beyond what they're doing themselves.